In what can only be called as something impossible, President Joe Biden will be taking a page out of the playbook from former President Donald Trump by enforcing stricter measures at the borders. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy currently has a plan in place to offer a deal for Republicans that are pushing back on his House Speaker dreams. Vice President Kamala Harris may not be at the president's side by 2024, and President Vladimir Zelensky has made it known that they want to join the World Economic Forum. Oh, wait, really? Why would he want to rub shoulders with billionaires? Oh, wait, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, before I continue with our discussion, and trust me, you want to watch this thing the whole way through, please take a second, drop a like for the video, and if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to Washington, D.C., the state of our economy, crucial updates with Social Security, the stock market, housing market updates, SSI, SSDI, passive income, money-making ideas, and everything in between, make sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, guys. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. It only takes about 15-20 seconds. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below. All right, guys, so the influence that former President Donald Trump once had over the GOP seems to be diminishing, as even his endorsement of Kevin McCarthy couldn't get him the gavel as Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy has tried multiple times at this point, with failure hitting him at every corner. Trump urged Republicans to not turn a great triumph into a giant and embarrassing defeat. He also said that he supports Florida Representative Byron Donalds, but that his day will come, but it's not now. President Biden chimed in with his comments as well. Here's what he said.
Reality is that, to be able to have a Congress that can't function is just embarrassing. We're the greatest nation in the world. How can that be? And we've had a lot of trouble with, I'm sorry for the noise, a lot of trouble with the attacks on our institutions already. And that's what worries me more than anything else.
There is talk of a deal that could possibly get Kevin McCarthy an additional 10 to 12 votes. The deal is seen as phase one of a plan to get Mr. McCarthy over his hump. But still, this won't get him the votes that he needs to become the speaker. Now, moving on to the border, President Biden is now emulating former President Trump's plan to shut down the border by putting forth a new expansion to Title 42.
Today, I'm announcing that my administration is going to expand the parole program for people not only from Venezuela, but from Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti.
Now, as you saw from the video, Vice President Kamala Harris was at the president's side, although she didn't say a thing in this press conference. Now, you guys already have told me before, Vice President Kamala Harris is quite quiet lately. The stance on the border from the president may be a sign that he plans to run in 2024, and the exclusion of Vice President Kamala Harris may very well indicate that she might not be President Biden's running mate come that time. If not Harris, though, then who? Do you guys have anybody in mind? Let me know in the comments. The president has also recently talked to the parents of Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills, discussing the danger of the sport while talking about helmets and concussion protocols. Hamlin may have suffered a 1 in 200 million chance injury called commotio cordis. But in good news, Hamlin is now beginning to awaken after his very scary on-field collapse. It's now come out that he is making steady progress and appears to be neurologically intact. Now, I gotta say that this is very good news, and the first responder that gave him CPR deserves a medal. Now, it's still not certain as to why someone who is in peak physical condition can suddenly just suffer from an ailment like this. In some not so good news, a former NFL player, Uchechukwu Nwaneri, has suddenly passed away from a possible heart attack. We're still awaiting the results of his autopsy. Nwaneri was a pro-vaccine athlete who once said that anyone who refuses the vaccine should be put in jail. Now, I don't know if everybody's going to agree with him on that one, but Dr. Jordan Peterson has now confirmed that he is secretly being attacked by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in efforts to re-educate him, as he lacked professionalism in public statements. He feels as if he can't speak his mind as it doesn't align with what people in power want him to say. Peterson also took to Twitter to ask if whether he should follow his plan to re-educate him, and if the public votes for Peterson, he will agree to take the required course of communication and resign. On the other hand, if the allegations from the College of Psychologists of Ontario are proven to be baseless and politically motivated, then users can instead vote to have them apologize and resign from their positions. Now, out of almost 80,000 votes, 88.8% voted for the college accusers to resign. Some say that Peterson speaks the truth, and this is only one way of prosecuting him publicly. Now, speaking of taking things to the public, President Vladimir Zelensky has never shied away from asking for funds, be it in private or public conversations. With that, it looks as though he is ready for his country to join the World Economic Forum. You know those guys, right? Unelected billionaires in Switzerland who seek to control governments, remove car ownership, have us eat bugs while animals are removed. Does this group ring a bell to you? Now, besides talking to Klaus Schwab of the WEF, Zelensky has also been talking to BlackRock CEO Larry Fink about financing the post-war rebuilding efforts, or how they plan to convince you and I and the American population to fund all this with American taxpayer dollars. Now, since we're already talking about it, what is happening in this war? Well, Russia is saying that they've destroyed the US-supplied heavy artillery system called HIMARS, or HIMARS. National Security spokesperson John Kirby says that they don't have information that can actually confirm this report, but he added this part, quote, "Let's be just real crystal clear here. This is a war by Russia on Ukraine, and Mr. Putin can claim all he wants that this is some sort of fight against the West. It's existential for his security. It's the US versus Russia. It's NATO versus Russia. We all know that's a bunch of BS. Russia is the one who visited violence on the Ukrainian people at a scale that is quite historic and unprecedented. And we are and will continue to provide them with the kinds of systems and assistance that they need to defend themselves with," end quote. Now, do you guys agree with that? That this is really just a war between two countries and that the United States and NATO just happen to be supplying aid to the Ukraine? Or is the Ukraine simply a battlefield for NATO and the United States to wage a war with Russia without getting into the war necessarily themselves or ourselves? Whatever the case may be, Russia has just sailed their hypersonic missiles in one of their most powerful warships into the Atlantic Ocean. According to Putin, quote, "I am sure that such powerful weapons will reliably protect Russia from potential external threats and will help ensure the national interests of our country," end quote. This could be them positioning their weapons, or it could also be a show of force to tell the United States that they're ready to use those types of weapons. It's not like we didn't have enough problems here at home, huh? The war, besides the health crisis, has brought a lot of problems to our economy. That is, if you listen to the news. It's caused a lot of issues for the working American, those in the middle and lower income thresholds, even those on fixed income like Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. The fear of another war may worsen our situation, and I truly hope that cooler heads do prevail. The one thing that can certainly help us out during this time is a healthy cash flow. Partner that with the responsible budgeting, and you may find your way back into financial freedom. Well, if you're interested in learning about multiple streams of income through side hustles or small businesses, or maybe you want to become an investor and get into the stock market or real estate, whatever the case is, feel free to join our Patreon community. There is a link in the description down below this video. Now, before I go, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you on the next one.